Great. So just to come back into the body for a moment, I want to just give a few exercises which can be helpful again at any time of the day or in between whatever you're doing, just to mobilize and again shift this stagnant energy that we sometimes can be working with if we've been spending a lot of time doing one thing. So we're going to start really simply just by bringing hands to the knees and taking a moment again just to check in with the spine. So noticing if you're starting to slump, see if you can again really release through the fronts of the upper thighs, the hip flexors, soft through the belly here. So I'm really encouraging this like super soft, no effort in the belly. And then from here, again, you can close down the eyes if you wish, just follow the direction, or if you want to see me, you can keep them open, but just soften the gaze. So try and soften that space between the eyebrows. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a deep inhale, big exhale, sigh, breath. And again, really nice, slow inhale. Big exhale, just softening, let it go. See if you can really let the shoulders melt down away from the ears. And then from here, we're going to slowly inhale, bringing our awareness to the lower abdomen. A little bit of energy from the lower abdomen again, drawing that breath up through the rib cage into the chest or towards the chest. And as you exhale again, let it drop down, but just keep that little subtle lift through the center. One more of these, inhaling, drawing that energy from the ground all the way up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale again, you can sigh or you can just soften, releasing any tension. Good. From here, we're going to do a couple of rounds of just simple shoulder rolls. So you can again begin with your inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. And as you exhale, see if you can really indulge, roll them back and down so the chest opens, the rib cage fans out, and relax back to the beginning. And again, inhaling all the way up. And as you exhale, open the chest, rolling back and down. So I'm doing it quite slowly. You can speed up. See if you can just allow the body to move. Try not to restrict yourself, especially through the rib cage. Let the rib cage move. And then again, back to the center. And then we're just going to reverse that. So we're going to draw the shoulder blades together so the chest is opening first. Lifting them up towards the ears. And as you exhale this time, we're going to roll forward. You can let the chin relax to the chest. Again, resetting back to the beginning. Drawing shoulders slowly back. Drawing the shoulder blades together. Lift shoulders towards the ears. And then as you exhale, rolling forward. So again, you can close the eyes. Don't worry about looking like how I'm doing it. See if you can just find a roll of the shoulders. If it's too much for you to drop the head, you can keep the head stacked on top of the spine, but just see if you can get a little bit more movement, a little bit more mobility through the shoulders. Again, if you've been stuck at a desk, sitting for a long time, you might want to also let the head relax to the chest just for a moment, and then we'll reset to the beginning. Good. So again, that's something really easy. You can do it in 10 seconds if you wish, just super quick, just to get a little bit of blood flow through the upper body. And then from here, we're just going to quickly take a few more rolls of the head. So this time, starting chin dropping down towards the chest, but inhaling before you do that. So just letting that lift come, but releasing upper spine. As you exhale, we're going to tilt the head towards, if you're mirroring me, the left shoulder. If you're not, to the right. And then we're going to keep that lift through the center. See our sky above us, or maybe the ceiling if you're inside. Keep the eyes open or closed, and then continue that circle round all the way, and then back to the center, chin to chest. Changing direction, inhaling, second side, feeling that stretch down the opposite side of the neck. Again, see if you can lift the focus towards the ceiling or your sky above, all the way over to the second side, and again back, chin to chest. Good. And then inhaling back to center when you've arrived. Take a pause. So for most of us, this is an area of real tightness, and it needs to be, it's supporting a very heavy part of the body. But see if you can go gentle. So that felt fine maybe for me, but you might want to go half the energy of that. You might want to start really small. You might want to go even bigger, get the whole chest involved. See if you can improvise with that. Just that simple movement, circling. Do what feels really good for you. So moving on, getting a little bit more into the spine. We're just going to try and keep going downwards. So we're kind of covering all bases. We're going to bring the hands back to the knees. And this time we're thinking a little bit more about the chest. So if you want to bring your hand there, a little rub just to bring your focus there. And then again, we're thinking lifting up from the lower abdomen. That breath can begin us off. As we inhale, we're going to send the chest forward. This time, see the sky. So drawing the shoulder blades back. And as we exhale, we're going to reverse that. So drawing the chin down. Imagine that someone's pulling the middle spine back. So we're rounding through the spine. So we're creating an arch as we inhale and lift up. And an exhale round. So if I was to turn to the side, I'm creating a lovely arch as I inhale and as I exhale, really rounding like a turtle. Couple rounds of those. Again, we're getting a little bit more fluid, a little bit more energy running through the spine. Again, you can pause the video. You can spend a little bit longer doing this if you wish. We're just trying to get a little bit more mobility, a little bit more movement through the spine. And then coming back to center. So finally, again, you can just roll out the shoulders. We're going to do one little last posture, throwing it in just in the mix because, again, we're working with the breath, the energy force today. And you can come off, if you're on something quite high like a bolster, you can come off that and come a little bit lower, maybe use a blanket or your block. And this one is a seated twist. So Matsyendrasana. And we want to think about, again, just making sure we're not tense through the hip flexors. We want to try and be somewhere nice and comfortable. So we're going to bring palms, our fingertips to the ground beside us. And just again, check in with the weight. So see if it's quite far forward. See if it's quite far forward or if it's a little bit more back. See if you can find that place that's nice and center above the sit bones. So from here, we're going to inhale to lift the arms up. And again, you might want to bring the hands together here. Just take a full stretch through the spine just to find that length. And then release the hands. See if you can soften through the lower ribs. Again, come back to that soft belly. And then from here, I'm going to mirror you guys with this one. So rotating towards the left, bringing the right hand to the left knee, and bringing your left hand behind the tailbone. So you could also place your hand on the back of your block if you're using one. Relax the shoulders down. So this one is a seated or half spinal twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana. See if you can come back to that head and tail connection. So just make sure you're not leaning too far forward. Nice and stacked above the sit bones. Relax through the shoulders. And then from here, come back to the belly breath with that awareness through the belly. Inhale to begin. And then when you're ready, we're going to begin to turn and look over the left shoulder. So spiraling round. Maybe seeing what's behind you in the space, keeping your eyes open. Or if you prefer, of course, close down the eyes. Feel into that body. So we're twisting from the lower, middle, and then eventually upper back. Drawing that left shoulder back if you can. And just work towards your edge. So we're going to breathe nice and steady here. In through the nose and out through the nose if possible. Or again, if it feels better, you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Creating that twist. We'll take 2 more breaths here. See if you can twist a little bit more, even if it's just with the eyes, really continuing that spiral round. And then on the next exhale, we're gonna unwind all the way back to the center. See the front of the space. Lift the arms up. And exhale straight away to change sides. Crossing again and using, again, your awareness through the sit bones just to stabilize you. So that twist is really coming from the lower body, lower back, middle back, upper back. And this time we're drawing our right shoulder back. As we inhale, exhale, look over that right shoulder. Spiraling round. Again, See if you can really keep rooted through both sit bones. So that twist is happening through the torso. So this seated twist, again, it's a brilliant way to move along stagnant energy. It detoxifies the digestive organs, gets everything moving. So really brilliant one on many levels. And again, if you can continue to hold this and continue to go a little bit further with each exhale, creating a little bit more space through the spine. One more full breath here, and then when you're ready, we'll slowly, gently exhale back to center. Inhale last time, just to lift the arms all the way up. And this time, exhale, fingertips back down. Again, if you want to roll the shoulders. Maybe time now to shake out the legs. If you're already laying down, relaxing, and you've just visualized all of that, then stay where you are. You can take this time now again just to take a sip of water, stretch out the legs. We're going to move into our final guided meditation or relaxation, again with this real sense of working with the energy in the body, trying to refuel, rest, and digest. So we're going to set up for our final section of this video now. One of my favorite things to do, which I'm sure you'll also all enjoy, a guided relaxation, shavasana, mindfulness. We're going to keep continuing with this sense of restoring the energy. And this, believe it or not, is an incredible way to restore consciously resting. So I'm going to come back to one of the options I gave at the beginning. So using my bolster behind the upper legs, behind the knees. You can also use your blanket. If you're somewhere that's a little bit chilly, you can use your blanket, cover yourself as the body temperature will drop. You could also use one of your bricks to support the head, just making sure that wherever you are comfortable. So I'm laying down like this. Again, I'm checking in. Is it where I want to be? If you're feeling any holding through the shoulders, any tension, you can also put, again, a little bit of focus there for a moment. Use your breath to soften, draw the chin down slightly. So you're really, really trusting now that the floor or the ground is there to hold you. You might again come back to that lovely deep inhale, slow exhale. Again, checking in, is this where I want to be? Is this comfortable? Again, like with all the positions that we've done in this video so far, there's so many more options. So I'm just going to quickly show a few more of those. If you again want to just stay here, you're more than welcome. For anyone who feels like they need a little bit more support for the upper body, or who wants to be a little bit more supported in the upper body region, you can use your pillow or your bolster and block, creating a little bit of a release of support for the upper spine. This can be great for someone who has rounded shoulders, or if you've sat for a lot or for many hours. And again, comfort is key. With this one, I like to bring my tailbone just a couple of inches in front of the bolster or pillows. Keep my knees bent, and then slowly lay back on the bolsters. You can keep the legs bent, or you can find the feet flat to the floor. Or send the legs out long, rather. So I'm already starting to feel more relaxed, just even coming into this place. A couple more options for this one. Again, not everyone likes to lay down on their back, or finds some people find it more uncomfortable. So you could also come to your front, again keeping with the bolster where it is, laying on the belly, bringing the head to one side, so resting on the left or right temple. Or of course, you can come back to seated. Wherever you are, just take a moment again to check in, make sure that you're really comfortable. And I really do mean comfortable. So that's the most important thing when we're working with the nervous system, and to really work with it in our favor, we need to listen for feedback. So the body constantly gives us feedback. And sometimes that can be positive, it can be negative. Just taking a moment to notice what you're noticing right now. So as we're practicing outside today, we're working with our environment that we're in or that we have available to us. So for instance, that's the ever changing soundscape of this outdoor space. We're just beside Left Bank here on Cardigan Road, so it's quite a busy area and it's quiet in this moment, but I'm sure in the next couple of moments we'll have a few, we're going to call them disruptions, but we're going to try and work with our disruptions. So tuning in and really listening in this moment to the sounds around you. In this space here, I can hear the rustling of the leaves. I can hear little birds in their nest, not so far away. Just listening to what you could hear, and without even standing or staying too long with that sound, just letting it wash over you. So almost like you're painting a picture of your surroundings. And we're doing this not as a creative task, we're doing it just to really come to know what we're surrounded by. So then we can almost let it go. We can accept wherever we are that there might be noise, it might be people passing by, it might be cars, there might be someone cutting the grass in a few moments' time. But as long as we acknowledge it, we can let it go. Try not to let it disrupt us, especially for this valuable, lovely relaxation that we're about to begin. So just taking a couple of moments more just to listen, just to make sure that you've adjusted all you need. And in this moment, we're really welcoming the body. So just like we've welcomed the space around us to be whatever it has to be, we're doing the same now with the body. So we may have done all we can to make ourselves comfortable, but maybe we still have a little niggly pain in the shoulder, or maybe our jaw still feels a little bit tight. See what you can do now, just for the next couple of seconds, just to soften. You'd be surprised what happens when we really give our bodies permission to rest. And that might even mean saying in your own mind or in your own head, I give myself permission now to rest. However peaceful it is naturally or disruptive in its challenging, changing soundscape, see if you can really just give yourself permission to be here in this moment. And like with our energy changing all the time, it's the same with our mind, the same with our surroundings. It's all connected. Take a moment to come back to the breath, especially if you've lost that connection. See if you can feel back into that lovely, delicious exhale, sigh breath, especially if you are feeling maybe a little bit tense today, or if you're feeling the mind's really busy and trying its best to disrupt you. See if you can take a moment really just to identify the space that you're in, the body that you're in. Accepting pain as something that's moving through you rather than something that is your identity. So really just like, again, the changing soundscape, everything is changing, but seeing if you can, for the next couple of moments, come back to that sense of welcoming. So what can we do for the next couple of moments just to allow ourselves and allow the things around us to be exactly as they are. What would it feel like to not have to change something or make something better? And as we tune into this place of presence, we can also just rest with this awareness. So resting in the sense of pausing, allowing everything to be exactly as it is, even if it's just for a minute or two longer. And then coming back into the body, see if you can feel again that support of the ground below you. So the amazing thing about the body and the muscles and the bones, just like the breath, it eventually finds its own natural way. So when we come to lay down, when we come to rest, the muscles will slowly soften. We'll slowly tune or turn down the volume of effort. And again, just allowing everything to be there. And finally, just tuning slowly into the energy of the body. So we've moved and shifted the prana throughout this session. Just taking a moment to rewind, maybe journey back to when you first clicked on this video. Perhaps taking just a split moment, a second to remember what energy you had then. And then slowly fast forward, maybe reflecting on what from this practice you enjoyed or maybe will take with you from the mat today. And then continue to fast forward all the way back into this moment. When you feel ready to, you can come back to that breath, maybe taking a deep inhale. And again, slow exhale, sigh, breath. Sinking a little bit deeper into your awareness. We'll rest here just for another minute longer. See if you can again tune back into the sounds of the space that you're in. Allow all those sounds to be there. Allow them to anchor you into the present moment. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just for the next couple of seconds. Resting in this lovely stillness that you've created for yourself. So just before we invite movement back, just tune back into the space that you're in. So really listening back in to your surroundings, feeling the stillness in the body that you've created. So just remembering that this is always accessible for you. It's always there, ready to be tuned into. It's something that is completely inherent to us all. We don't have to buy it or have a special tool or teacher to help us do it. We can do it anytime. So hopefully that you can also log this feeling and information with yourself now. Send yourself some gratitude for taking this time to tune in. And then when you feel ready to, you can slowly and really gently Begin to move the fingers and toes, maybe turn the head nice and slowly from right to left. Feeling the weight in the body, feeling that real sense of release in the body before we begin to move, before we begin to activate those muscles again. Just take a moment to choose how you wish to go on from this moment. So I invite you to really slowly let that movement grow, maybe eventually floating arms up over the head, staying again connected to that support of the ground below. And as you exhale, you can hug the knees in, especially if you're laying flat on the floor. You can take a little rock from side to side, massaging out the lower back, the muscles around the sacrum. And keeping the eyes closed, bending the knees in one at a time. Again, if you're laying on the floor, you can just let the weight drop over towards the right side. Rest here just for a moment in a fetal position. So really, again, transitioning slowly. If you're seated already, you can just stay where you are. Keep letting everything drop down, releasing any holding, any tension, and especially any judgment for those places we are holding tension. And then for those who are practicing on the floor, you can slowly, using the support of the hands, press yourself all the way back up to seated, and you can come to meet me where you feel comfortable. So again, cross-legged or with the legs out long, or kneeling, or sitting on your chair, whatever feels good. Close the eyes again when you've arrived. Feel that transition to the upright, and again, feel the temptation to start to lift the shoulders again. See if you can keep everything nice and released, nice and relaxed. We're just gonna pause here just for a moment. Again, letting all that information settle. Calming back into the breath. And I'd like to finish this practice just by sharing one of my favorite pieces of text with you guys. So this was written or was spoken by Swami Satyahad in 1972. It was recorded, so not so long ago, and I feel quite relevant for this time that we're in. Nothing can bring lasting happiness, but you have it already. The real thesis is that yoga is not something that you get, acquire, like your health or your well-being or your inner peace. You don't get it from the outside, which is what our culture often teaches us. But rather, we have it already. The question becoming, what am I doing that's disturbing? As opposed to, how do I get something I don't already have? So just taking a moment to let those words settle, wash over you, however you wish to receive them. And when you're ready to, you can bring the palms together in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra, or prayer position. And this is just a moment of real traditional closing of the practice that we really do to honor the teachers who have come before us, honor the passing down of this knowledge that is so relevant and continues to be relevant and helpful in our daily lives. And as you bring the palms together, you can also tune into the heat of the palms, the energy between your own palms as they meet each other. Feel the thumbs gently pressing into the solar plexus of the sternum. And we're going to close the practice. This time, I invite you to join in. So we're going to chant 3 times Om. So the A, U, M, universal mantra. And this is a universal mantra that invites in positive energy and vibration into our lives. And it's a way also that we can connect with one another sending those energies out to each other. So we'll begin just by taking a gentle inhale, slow exhale, and then begin without hesitation inhaling. Inhaling. And then when you're ready to, you can rub the palms together, creating a little bit more heat in the hands. Fast, 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 just getting that heat building. And then when you're ready to, gently cover the eyes with the palms, just block out the light just for a moment. Feel the heat in the hands, feel the energy in the hands that you've created, no one else. And then when you're ready to, you can slowly, gently blink the eyes open. Look into the palms, send all that energy to yourself. Thank you so much, Hari Om. I really enjoyed this first video. I hope that you did too, and that you will hopefully continue to practice and again ask any questions that you are curious about. Thank you.